Lieutenant, make a note. It's time for the deals.
Yes, sir.
Hey everyone, and welcome back for today's under $5 eShop deals video, where we go through the Nintendo Switch eShop and we pick out some of the best games currently on sale, all the while staying under a budget of only $5. Now, although today's list might not be as huge as last week's, nonetheless there are some great budget bangers on there. And don't forget to drop your comment down below to be automatically entered in the giveaway for a $10 eShop gift card. Just make sure you're subscribed to the channel and check out the next video to see if you won. Now, I will be linking last week's videos down below just in case you missed them, but I do want to warn, a lot of those deals ended on September 11th. As we jump in, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you aren't already to help me out on that journey to 20,000 subscribers. So first for today, we have Gunman Clive the HD collection that is 60% off $1.99 and running till September 22nd. Now this game is a 2D action platformer with a couple of alternate style levels thrown in. Now this game very much follows the gameplay style of a Mega Man game, however it's set in the Wild Wild West. And as the Gunman Clive, it'll be your job to battle your way through the different levels and defeat the bosses at the end of each one. And during your adventure, you'll even go through some pretty wacky scenarios like fighting a Tyrannosaurus Rex or riding on the back of a panda and a Pteranodon. Now all this is presented in an absolutely beautiful hand-drawn art style that is one of a kind. And it also has a nice solid soundtrack to accompany the action. Now even if you've played these games before, the HD remasters are definitely worth a pickup, especially when you can get it like today at only $2. Now our next game for today is going to be Jet Cave Adventure that is back to 90% off, $1.99, this one running till September 25th. Now this time around we have a 2.5D action platformer, and you're going to have to strap in for a prehistoric thrill ride, because when a caveman named Cave discovers a jetpack, well, the sky's the limit. Now this game, although it's maybe not as polished, it does have some gameplay that reminds me very much of something like a Donkey Kong Country. However, I would say with a fairly lower level of difficulty. But the levels are very fun and fast-paced, although towards the end of the game, they might start feeling slightly repetitive. So if you're in the market for a brand new 2D platformer for this week and you want something that is light and easy to get through in one sitting, I would definitely recommend Jet Cave Adventure. It's going to be an absolutely great pickup, once again, especially at only $2. Now our next game for today is going to be Super Punch Patrol, that is back to 60% off, only $1.99, this one running till September 22nd. Now this time around we've got a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up, and you can probably already tell from the art style, but it comes from the same developer as the Gunman Clive HD collection that we just saw earlier. Now this game offers some definite classic beat-em-up action, but once again elevated with a modern twist. I do want to warn, however, for this one, this is a fairly challenging beat-em-up. If you're looking for an easy, laid-back playthrough, this is maybe not your game for this week. But once you master the combat system here, the game is very satisfying and fast-paced, and even offers once again some alternate style levels to break up the action. Now the main game might only take an hour to play through, but it'll take multiple attempts to get there. This is also a game that definitely ups its value when played in co-op. Another great $2 pick for this week. Now next we have a returning favorite of mine, and that is Bridge Constructor The Walking Dead that is back to 80% off, once again only $1.99 and running till September 18th. Now this game is basically the mix of the Walking Dead franchise and the Bridge Constructor strategy gameplay. And it should come to no surprise that you are in a world where the dead walk and society has crumbled. Now this game is challenging you to think, build, and survive, marrying the intricate art of bridge construction with the tension of a zombie apocalypse. And as I indicated earlier, this is definitely a game where strategy trumps everything else. You need to design sturdy bridges to transport survivors, even set cunning traps, or halt walker hordes, all the while collaborating with the iconic characters from the series. It's ultimately a cerebral challenge with a side of undead drama. Now next up for today, we have Mechstermination Force, that is 83% off, $2.03, this one running till September 22nd. Now this game is ultimately a 2D action platformer that has a boss rush style of setup. Now in the future, the horizon is dominated by shadows of colossal robots, and humanity's last hope is the Mechstermination Force. And if you dive into this world, every battle will feel like a final boss showdown, Because these robots aren't only bosses, they're massive, intricate, and each one presents a unique platforming challenge at the same time. You'll need to scale their towering forms, find their weak points, and use an arsenal of weapons to ultimately bring them down. This game has a little bit of everything. It'll test your skill, your strategy, and eventually even your sheer determination. Once again, another one of those games that I would place on the challenging side for this week, so just make sure you're ready for that before jumping in. But if you are at only $2.03, this is yet again another great pickup. So now it's time we take a quick break and announce today's winner of the $10 eShop gift card. And our winner for today is going to be EJ Concoctions, who says, Hades is such a beautiful game, a steal at this price. And I definitely agree with you there. It's almost one of those must-play games on the Nintendo Switch, even if you're not even generally into the roguelite genre. It just might shift your opinion. So now all you need to do to claim your $10 eShop gift card is reach out to me in my pinned comment down below. So now if we jump straight back into our deals, our next one is going to be Pigship and the Giant Wolf. That is 55% off, $3.59, and this one running till September 25th. Now this game is a 2D side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. This is also a game I fully reviewed on the channel, so if ever you're looking for a fuller description, you can always check that out. But this is yet again a very challenging game that uses an absolutely beautiful Game Boy-like aesthetic. Now, although the levels themselves are actually quite short each individually, you'll have to master each and every movement and the placement of your ship to beat them one by one. Not only that, but this game offers no continues or save points, so if you ever want to make it to the end, you've got to do it all in one sitting. However, what definitely really drew me into this game is, as I pointed to earlier, the absolutely beautiful art style, a great soundtrack to accompany it, but also level designs that reminded me a lot of early R-Type games. But the biggest and best payoff here is some truly unique boss fights that I've never quite seen equivalents in the genre before. I don't want to ruin anything for you, but some of these fights even end up feeling almost like puzzles. So if you're in the market this week for a great cheap shoot 'em up with a nice level of challenge, well at $3.59 you really can't go wrong with this one. Our next game for today is a brand new entry to the series that's at a brand new low, and that is Chroma Squad, that is now 75% off, $3.74, running till September 19th. Now, ultimately, this game is a strategy RPG meets a management game, and it's another one of those games that I wonder why it took me so long to finally dive in, and honestly, I really fell in love with the gameplay. Now, in this game, you are basically developing your own Sentai or Power Rangers inspired TV show, and you really are in charge of everything, from casting the actors to even choreographing the fight scenes. You basically have to assemble your team, craft epic gear, strategize battles against quirky villains, and watch your ratings soar. And once those battles unfold, well, they play out like a strategy RPG. Honestly, it's a truly unique blend of gameplay styles that I really haven't experienced in any other game. And if you just happen to be an RPG fan that's also a Power Rangers fan, this is like a must pick up game for this week. Now next for this week, we also have another brand new entry that's at a brand new low, and that is Fur Squadron, that is now 40% off, $4.19. This one running till September 18th. Now this game is an on-the-rails shooter that is trying to emulate the gameplay style of Star Fox. It's another one of those games that I also played on stream, and you can always check that out if you want a better idea of the overall gameplay. I have to be honest here, although the graphics can be slightly wonky at times, and the controls are maybe not the smoothest that have ever been, it is nonetheless a really fun game to play through if you're a fan of on-the-rails shooters. And even more so if you're a fan of Star Fox, because ultimately this game can be knocked out in just a couple of hours. But it's a really short yet fun trip that evokes a lot of nostalgic feelings. This was, however, one of those games that I was definitely waiting for it to drop under that $5 mark, because given its slight flaws, it becomes a much easier suggestion at this price point. But ultimately, if you know what you're getting into before picking this one up, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Now, our next game is yet another one making a first appearance on the series, and that is Button Button Up. That is now 60% off, $4.79, this one running till September 14th. Now this game is a 2D action platformer with some slight puzzle elements. And you play as a character that can basically turn into a button. Now this particular mechanic will have multiple uses throughout the levels, and this is where the slight puzzle gameplay comes in. It's also a 2D platformer that can be played in co-op. and I would probably say that that is the most unique element of this game. Now, contrary to a lot of the other entries on today's list, I would consider this game more on the easier side, and I wouldn't necessarily be recommending this game to veterans of the 2D platformer genre. It's rather really good for someone who's trying to get into the genre, or younger players trying to go through their first experiences, especially due to the co-op gameplay, where you can always jump in to give them a hand. Once again, not necessarily a game that I would be recommending at full price, but at under $5 for the right audience, this is yet again another great pickup. Now next for today we have Evoland the Legendary Edition that is 75% off, $4.99, this one running till September 18th. Now first of all, I do want to mention that this is a collection of the first and second Evoland. However, in total honesty, the second game in this package is definitely the clear standout. And I would even say for some of you, the first one could be skipped altogether. But ultimately, both these games are really unique RPGs. And in reality, they're actually more than just RPGs. It's like a trip through gaming history. You'll start in a pixelated world that is reminiscent of classic games, and then actually watch as it evolves before your eyes. As you play through the game, you'll experience different eras of gaming, from 8-bit to modern 3D graphics. However, all at the same time, you'll be uncovering a heartwarming story that actually spans generations. This ends up actually being like a love letter to RPG fans, celebrating the evolution of a genre that millions adore. And honestly, picking this one up for only $4.99 is a total steal. Now it's time for today's sizzle reel of deals with 15 other great games to consider for this week. So we're not at the end of today's eShop Deals video, and I want to hear from all of you. Let me know what games you're picking up in the comments down below. Also, a huge shout out to my channel supporters. Their monthly support goes a long way here at the channel, and you can check out all their names on the end screen of the video. One last time, don't forget on the way out, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and click on the notification bell so you know when all my future content comes out. And as usual, I hope I'll see you in my next video.